Hi everybody, Harmonica Joe with you here today with a brief tutorial on how to change the reed plates on a Lee Oskar harmonica. Now, one of the nice things about the Lee Oskars are that they are modular harmonicas, meaning that you can interchange the parts, reed plates, cover plates, combs, and without having to buy a whole new harmonica and throw the old one in the trash. So that's one of the things I really like about the Lee Oskars. Plus they sound great. And they're for the most part affordable, a little more affordable than some of the other brands as well. So what I thought I'd show you today is I have a C harmonica, a regular standard C diatonic Lee Oskar harmonica. So the only tool that you need to do this procedure is a screwdriver. So I'm just going to simply use a little Phillips head screwdriver, and that's it. And one of the things that Lee Oskar does have is a really cool toolkit that has everything you need if you wanted to work on your harmonicas. And so you can see it has files, it'll have the screwdrivers, the files are for working on the reeds, has a feeler gauge to slip under the reeds when you're working on them to support them. And then the screwdrivers. Now the screwdrivers, I replaced them with high quality screwdrivers. The ones that come in the kit are pretty cheesy, and I didn't like the way they worked. So I just replaced them with high quality screwdrivers. I've got a Phillips and you can see here I've got a common flat blade screwdriver as well. And you don't need the toolkit. However, it's nice. It has everything in one place for you should you need, and the reed wrench over here. But everything's in one spot, so it's just kind of handy to have if you're out on a gig or something like that. And so that's all we need. Get your screwdriver and let's get to it. So we're going to start by taking the two side screws out of the harmonica, and they're held on there with nuts, these little nuts on the back side. Now I already kind of got a head start on this, and I took the nuts off, and they were on the underside of the harmonica. So simply just take the screw out of the nut and be sure that you don't lose the screws, and then you can remove the cover plates. You can see this is a brand new C that I'm starting with, it's totally clean. And remove the bottom plate, and you can see that the top has the reeds are the screw heads or on the outside, and with the three screws holding everything together, and the reeds are on the underside of the reed plate, and on the bottom the reeds are on the outside. So there you go, you just have to make sure you get them on the right way. So the next thing we need to do is we need to take these three screws out that kind of hold everything together. So I'll do that. Again, be careful you don't lose the screws. Now there's no nuts on here, these are just self-tapping screws that go right into the plastic, or into the the metal of the other reed plate, and that holds everything together. Take the other one out here. Again, being careful not to lose them. Sometimes it's good if you have like a little cup or a coffee mug or something you can put the screws in so that you don't lose them. That's that one. All right, so now we break it down. We have the bottom reed plate comes off. And that's what that looks like. They pretty much look identical. And then you can take the top reed plate off. Sometimes they stick. Just got to tap on it a little bit. Push on it with the screwdriver. There we go. This was a brand new harmonica. It's never been taken apart. So, okay, and that's what that looks like. And that's the top plate. And then here we have the comb. That's pretty cool. And that's about all it is. So your air goes into each little chamber, and you can kind of see the chambers match the length of the reed as well. So you got the low notes in the big chambers and the high notes in the little chambers. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to grab a new set of reed plates and I already opened the package because they're kind of a pain to open. And these are a brand new set of Lee Oskar C diatonic reed plates. And they come with nifty instructions, they come with new screws and your reed plates. Now the one thing to notice on the reed plates between the top and the bottom, this is how you're going to be able to know which to put where out of the package. The top reed plate has the big large holes, if you can see that there, and the bottom reed plate has smaller holes, the 3 screw holes that we took out that hold everything together. So the bottom reed plate, small holes, top reed plate, big holes. That's how you're going to tell the difference. So then we simply take our new reed plates. Again, here's the big holes, so that's on the top. You know which is up because you have the Lee Oskar insignia there. And match up the holes. Reed plates, the reeds go down on the top. Simply get it on there, and then flip it over. Got to hold that on there, and then we grab our other reed plate, the bottom, and the bottom the same thing. Match it up, match the holes up. They only work one way, so you can't get it backwards. If you put it on the other way, the wrong way, the holes aren't going to line up, and you're never going to be able to put it together. So it's pretty much a dummy-proof system that they made, which is really nice. And there you go. So now all we have to do is we take our screws, and it comes with new screws. I'm just going to use the same ones. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to get a new one because that one took off on me. I'm going to start with the center one first. I'm going to put it through the big holes through the top, and kind of hold everything together. Pick up your screwdriver and simply screw it in. And now everything's holding. Now don't reef down on it too hard. Don't push down on the and really make the thing too tight. You just want to make it tight, but not insanely tight. Do the next one. Might have to kind of push it a little bit. There we go. Now I'll just grab one of the new screws since I dropped the old one on the floor, and put the last one in. Again, just kind of squeeze it together. You don't want to make them too tight. Make sure everything's kind of sitting where it should. Now this top reed plate looks like it might be up a little bit, so I'm going to take these screws out. It doesn't look quite flat. It could be I'm just going to loosen it up. And let's just kind of see if we can move it around and reseat that. Actually, it looks like something's going on. So I'm going to take these screws out. So that's the other thing you want to do. If it doesn't go right the first time, that's okay. Take the screws out. That's what's nice about these. And see what's going on. Let's see here. Make sure there's no debris under there. Make sure the reed plate is clean there, no burrs. That's a lot better. There we go. That's a lot better. It's got it snapped in nice and tight now. And we put our screws back in. See, no harm, no foul. Just if it's not right, take it apart, find out why it's not right. Chances are it's just not seated properly. And that's all. It's a very, very simple harmonica, very simple system. There's no rocket science here. All right. Now it's squeaking because everything's new. Now these are what we call self-tapping screws, so that they screw into the metal and they create their own threads. They tap their own threads into them. All right, I think that's pretty good. So then, all we have to do is put our cover plates on. We should be back in business, and we'll see how it works. Actually, we can test it right now. Let's see. And it works. So we go. The cover plate's on. And these screws, I wish they made the screws a little bit longer for the cover plates to be able to grab the nuts a little better, but they're very hard, difficult to pick up. Let's try it here. So I'm just kind of holding the nut on the back side with my thumb so it doesn't spin, and put the other one on here. Again, you don't want to make these too tight, just tight enough that it doesn't leak. You're going to have to squeeze it together a little bit. I think we got her now. There we go. Again, not too tight, just tight enough. I'm going to make it ridiculously tight. Let's see if it works. And we have our Lee Oskar harmonica, and that's how to change the reed plates on it. And I'll see you next time in the next video. So keep on harping.